Last go at it for non-conference competition for the women's soccer team here at Capitol as they welcome the Wittenberg Tigers of the North Coast Athletic Conference. Hi, my name is Davis McCartney. Thanks for joining me tonight as we look forward to this matchup between Capitol and Wittenberg. Great night for a women's soccer match here on the campus, of Capitol University. And here are the starting lineups for each team. First, for the visiting Tigers. In defense, Maria Miller, Brooke Mullis, Sophia Grossman, and Cassidy Weber. In the midfield, Emily Weil, Sydney Artis will be the pivots in the midfield. And in front of them will be Amy Bidwell, Brooke Peters, and Hannah Heald. And up top, they'll look to facilitate Alex Steele. In between the pipes for Wittenberg, Katie Wisniewski making her third start this season. Now your starting lineups for Capitol. In defense, Abby English, Holly Barlage, Mia Gambasini, and in the midfield, Brooke Shuttler, Grace Estes, Sophia Leonetti, Madeline Woodruff, Cassidy Ryan. They'll look to feed the two up top in Avery Hart and Olivia Rotolo. Coming into this match in the NCAC standings for Wittenberg, they sit second with a 4-4-1 record, just behind Oberlin, who are 5-4. And they have opened conference play with their last match 5-1 over Hiram. This a non-conference match before both teams get back into conference play, as Capitol will look to start that in their next match against Baldwin Wallace Saturday the 2nd. So underway here, visiting Tigers will be in red and black jerseys with red shorts and red socks going right to left. The home team Capitol will be in all white with the silver lettering going left to right. Shuttler gets that upfield, but Mullis will track it down. She'll settle it. Ryan brings it down for Capitol, looks to move it to Shuttler. She goes all the way back to Barlage. Matchup history, Capitol look to keep things going here as they've won the last two matchups. Last game between these two coming in 2019 with an overtime 2-1 win for Capitol. That one's cut out well by Mullis and gets it up to Heald. It's a matchup that started back in 1992. And Wittenberg, won the first 5 matchups from 92 to 96. Heald up to Steele. She'll look to turn. Get it back to her teammate Heald, but she can't bring it down. Good crowd funneling into Bernlohr Stadium, Plenty of purple and red as well for the visiting Tigers. Capitol come into this game 0-6-1, looking for the first win. Just one goal thus far for the purple and white, that coming through Avery Hart in a match against Grove City. So they'll look to produce some good offense today against Wittenberg. On for Grace Estes, she'll look to cross it in. Slide tackle comes in from Grossman, she cuts it out. Cassidy Ryan on the far side looks to take this long throw. Gets it in, flicked on by Rotolo. Comes down, but Wisniewski gathers for the Tigers. Good goalkeeping by Katie Wisniewski, as I mentioned, making her third start. There's Weil. Looks to get it up to Peters, but can't. Now Ryan. There's Estes once more looking to track it down, but shielded well by Maria Miller. And she'll get it out of play. Best result so far coming in that draw, 110 minutes, excuse me, between Capital and Ohio Wesleyan. That coming here at Capital. Good turn by Avery Hart. She looks to get it on her right foot, but can't. Here's Estes. Estes will take a shot. That's blocked away by Mullis. Brought down well by Leonetti. Here's Rotolo. Back to Leonetti. She'll find Gambasini on this near side. Good 1-2 with Woodruff and Gambasini. Hart turns on her right foot, but she's dispossessed. Gambasini wins it back, gets it to Woodruff. Here's Avery Hart. Shot on her right foot, gathered by Wisniewski. So solid shot from Avery Hart. You can see she wants to get it on that right foot. Got it through a couple legs of some Wittenberg defenders, but right into the midriff of Katie Wisniewski. Mentioned Avery Hart got that shot away. This is her 7th start. Lone goal for Capital. Had 9 shots in that draw against Ohio Wesleyan, with 4 of those being on goal. Avery Hart once more. Looks to get it up to Heald, but cut out well by Gambasini. She looks to go all the way back to the back line, but cut out by Alex Steele, and the Tigers will look to produce their first attack of this match. Tigers team with a 2-2-1 record on the road, with 3 away goals and no clean sheets. So not scoring much on the road and letting up at least a goal a game so far does Wittenberg. Estes into Hart. She looks to bring it down but can't, but giving away to Leonetti. Cut out well by Grossman. She looks to carry. Or excuse me, Weber. Number 10 in red and black. Weber brings it down. Gets it to Artis. Artis up to Steele, cut out well by English. Woodruff looking for the 1-2 with Leonetti, just too far for Madeline Woodruff. So through 7 matches, only 10 goals against for Capital. So a solid defensive record, 3rd best in the Ohio Athletic Conference. Just looking to produce a bit more offense than they have thus far. Good turn by Woodruff. Leonetti brings it down and looks to recycle it. Here's Shuttler. All the way over to Ryan. Good possession thus far from Capital. She feeds Estes down that far side. Just too much from Grace Estes, and that'll roll out for a goal kick. So the Tigers have won the last 3 of 4 matches they've had. As I mentioned, the last one, 5-1 winner over conference opponent Hiram. But head coach Katie Robinson in her 5th season, she'll look to come back to her alma mater where she was a 3-year letter winner. So Woodruff gets that one in the middle of the box, but cut out only as far as Leonetti. Hart to Rotolo, but Rotolo can't get any venom on the shot. And it'll roll to Wisniewski. Mentioned the head coach of the Tigers, Katie Robinson, 3-year letter winner at Capital, 3-time All OAC. Foul on Ryan on that far side midfield. She brought down Bidwell. Bidwell, the junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. Started all matches. This her 10th start of the season. 2 goals and assists coming off that right midfield spot. Tigers getting up in the box as Miller will put it down the line for Steele. Cut out well by Holly Barlage. 4th start for her this season. As we've seen Haley Moore in that central center back role, but Holly gets the start tonight. Estes looks to get it up to Woodruff, but it's cut out. Good step there by English to cut out any offense for the Tigers. Here comes Estes. Looks to feed in Woodruff. We'll see if she can get on the end of that, but it'll be too far. It's gathered by the Tigers goalkeeper. Good 1-2 with Rotolo and Woodruff. She'll see if she can track this down, but that ball will be ushered out of play by Cassidy Weber. Weber, number 10 on this near side, junior from Hilliard. She's also started every match for Wittenberg. This is her 10th start. Leonetti all the way back to Barlage. She's pressured by Bidwell. Falls kindly here to Woodruff. Here's Leonetti. Turned by Hart. Avery Hart has a step. She'll cut back on her left foot, then back on her right. Looks to get the cross in, but cut out well by Mullis. Hart once more. Fall to Rotolo. Can't get a good connection on it, and it's cleared by the Tigers. Ryan dispossessed by Heald. Play on, says the referee. We'll see if he revisits that. Here's Bidwell. Looks to get by Barlage, just can't. She gets it away, and then Ryan once more. Some good one-on-one defending from Holly Barlage. Now here's Rotolo. Right-footed cross, just kind of skewed by Emily Weil. There's Shuttler. To Rotolo, she can't track it down. Here's Bidwell. Peters looks to put it into space, but that's going to be too much for Bidwell, and they'll go all the way back to Lauren White. Lauren White starting every match thus far. 45 saves, 10 goals allowed, 10 saves in their last match. At Hope, a 1-0 loss up in Michigan. There's Hannah Heald, cut out well by Abby English. So of the 6 losses for Capital, 5 of them being by 1 goal. So, as I mentioned, good defensive record here for Capital thus far. Just can't produce in the final third. Peters looks to bring it down, defended by Gambasini. That's going to be cleared by English. Abby English, 110 minutes logged in that 0-0 draw with Ohio Wesleyan. She's starting in her 8th match for Capital as well as a freshman. All put in by Peters, looks to skew it a bit, just falls outside the 18-yard box. Cassie Ryan looks to usher it out of play, but it's eventually cleared by Bernlohr. See if Rotolo can bring it down. She gets it over to Woodruff. Here's Leonetti. Gambasini. Woodruff, that's cut out. Here's Peters. She gets it to Emily Weil. Centers it. Can't be brought down by Steele, and then White will claim. Header won well by Sydney Artis. Senior from Galloway. She's starting her 6th match this season. Has an assist against OAC opponent Ohio Northern. Similar opponents played thus far for both these schools. Capital will see Ohio Northern later, obviously, in the OAC schedule. 2-0 loss for Wittenberg at Hope. They've played Otterbein, 1-0 loss, and Mount St. Joseph's they beat 2-1. Ball put in across the face. Rotolo and Woodruff just a bit tardy, and that's going to roll over the end line. So we'll see. Wonder if these coaches will take anything from those matches where they've had similar opponents and see if they can implement it into this match. Headed clear with false. Rotolo, she looks to chip the goalie, but that's just going to be wide of this near post. Bit of an aimless header by Sophia Grossman. Looked like she was trying to head it up to a midfield player that wasn't there. And Rotolo just couldn't steer it towards goal. She's looking for her first goal of the season. Olivia Rotolo, the captain from Dublin. Brought down well by Brooke Peters. One of those Wittenberg players who's playing in her 10th match, all games so far this season. There's Avery Hart. Going to get a step. Madeline Woodruff, left-footed shot. Skips right in front of Katie Wisniewski, but she claims it. Pulls it out, gets things going here for the Tigers. They'll look to feed Hannah Heald on this near side. She'll track it down, the number 9 in red and black. She'll go out English. Cuts inside on her right foot, gets a shot away, but just can't steer it towards goal. Just fading away a bit there, Hannah Heald. She was seeking her 4th goal this season. She leads all Tigers players with 3 goals. And she also has 3 assists to her name, leading in that category as well. So a dangerous player for the Tigers on this near side is Hannah Heald, freshman from Westerville. On by Avery Hart. Rotolo looks to track it down. She can't. Brooke Peters brings it down well. Gets it all the way back to Mullis. Then Wisniewski. Looking to build from the back, Wittenberg. Grossman Gets it over to Weber. Woodruff putting pressure on Weber. She does well to get it to the other side of the back line, and Brooke Mullis. Six shots so far for Capital. Here with just under 26.5 minutes to go in the first half. Two of them being on target. Possibly the best chance coming from Olivia Rotolo. Looked to chip the keeper, Wisniewski. Just couldn't get it on frame. Looked like she had a gap there, but couldn't steer it towards goal. Just one shot thus far, that coming from Hannah Heald for Wittenberg. So with 6 shots, Capital is halfway to their shots per game tally thus far this season. They are, 6th in the OAC in that regard. Good 1-2 with Gambasini and Woodruff. That's just going to roll over the touch line. It looks like we've got subs for Wittenberg coming in. The 11, Abby Spar, and 27, Morgan Bush. They will replace Peters and Artis in the midfield for Wittenberg. Here's Hart. Good turn, looks to get away, but ushered off the ball well by Abby Spar. Just entered the game. Didn't want to put a foot wrong there and give away the penalty. She does well. Good turn by Estes. She gets past the Wittenberg defender, see what she can put into the box. Looking for Avery Hart, but cut out well by Grossman. Fans continuing to trickle in here at Bernlohr Stadium. This 7 o'clock kick. Good turnout tonight from both sets of fans. Shuttler cuts it out. Up to Leonetti. She gets it over to Woodruff. Woodruff looks to take on Miller. She just does keep it in. Woodruff right-footed cross, just cut out well. He'll dispossessed by Shuttler. Here's Leonetti. Woodruff once more. Tried to get it up to Hart, just not on the same page. Falls kindly to the substitute, Bush. She just overcooks the pass for the on-running Bidwell. Will trot all the way over and be substituted for. Coming in for her is Emma Lindsay, sophomore from Olentangy Liberty High School. Powell. So about halfway through this first half. Solid start by Capital. Plenty of possession. 6 shots, as I mentioned, with 2 of those on target. Neither of those shots on target really testing the goalkeeper, Wisniewski, but some good possession so far for the purple and white. Grossman looking for the run of the substitute Lindsay. Cut out by English. Gets it over to Estes. She dispossessed by Weber. Roll out for a throw. Looks like the two wingers for Capital, Estes and Woodruff, have switched sides. Madeline Woodruff starting on this side in the first part of this half. Now it's Grace Estes who will be on the near side. Just got it over to Gambasini. Gets it back to Estes. To dance around Weber, but Linesman said last touch off Estes, so a Wittenberg throw. Grace Estes, freshman from West Liberty, Ohio, starting her third match. Logged 64 minutes in that 0-0 draw with Ohio Wesleyan. Rotolo. Good dummy by Avery Hart. Gets it on her right foot. Takes the shot. Goes off the crossbar. Still in there for Capital, but then it's eventually cleared away. So rolled into the feet of Avery Hart. She just played a little dummy, got past the defender, and we've seen what the right foot can do for Avery Hart. Just couldn't keep it down. Always rising, deflected off that crossbar. So the best chance of the match so far for either side falls to Avery Hart. She looks to win the ball back. Here's Gambasini. Cross deflected off of Emma Lindsay, and it'll be a corner kick for Capital. First of the match by either side. So the corner won by Gambasini, going to be taken by Gambasini. Swings it in a hard load. No one at the top of the 18. There might be a counterattack chance here for Wittenberg. Taken upfield by Emily Weil. She has heeled in support. As well as Alex Steele, but she can't bring it under control. And Capital will win a throw. So best chance so far for either side in terms of a counterattack. A bit of an errant corner kick, and here comes Avery Hart once more for Capital. Shielded well by Brooke Mullis, and she will kick it out, let the team reset. So a bit of back and forth from both sides here past couple minutes. We're under 20 minutes, 18 and a half to go here in the first half. Cleared away by Lindsay. Upfield by English. Hart to Estes. Leonetti with the left-footed shot, and that one wasn't too far away from this near post. So a handful of half chances here and there for Capital as they continue to keep the pressure on Wittenberg. Well done by Abby English. Gets it up to Grace Estes. Last off Estes, throw for Wittenberg. Wittenberg, 10 goals this season. 6th in the NCAC. With 9 assists for those 10 goals, tied 4th in the conference. That's Rotolo, left-footed shot. Just skewed a bit, and it'll be a goal kick. Pressure put on Olivia Rotolo by 11. The substitute here in the first half, Abby Spar. Just put her off a bit, potentially causing that shot to go wide. Weber gives it away to Hart. Hart on her left foot. She'll take another shot. Seen all the way by Wisniewski. Sure hands by the Wittenberg goalkeeper. But once more, Avery Hart finding space and time as well, and taking on these shots, creating some good chances for Capital. Dispossessed well by Weil. Up to Steele. Looking to get Woodruff going on that far side. Cut out by Miller. Ball stays in play. Cross swung in, headed away by English. Look to be cleared once more by Gambasini. She gets it away, as does Rotolo. And S is dispossessed by Weber. Steele takes the shot, deflected. Fall to Heald on that far side. She crosses it in, and she'll earn her team a corner. So Hannah Heald, number 9 in red and black, also switching to that far side. We saw a switch in midfield for Capital. We saw it with Wittenberg as well, as Emma Lindsay, 29, is on this near side. Cross comes in. Right-footed shot. Just skips away and over the end line. Some substitutes for Capital will come in. Leah Berletic for Estes, and Woodruff will be replaced by Longano. Looks like Francesca Longano will play up top. Here on this near side 40. This is her 6th appearance. On 50 minutes versus Grove City and 1 shot at Hope. Cut out by Lindsay. She cuts in on her right foot. Takes the shot from distance. Blocked well by English. Falls to Heald. Looks to get a step on Ryan. She does, but Holly Barlage is there to clean up. Mullis, pressure put on by Hart. She clears it. Grossman back to Mullis once more. And she'll go all the way back to Wisniewski. And Shuttler will go all the way back to White. Here's Shuttler. Upfield by English. Longano. Look to get it from Gambasini, but she kicks it out for a Wittenberg throw. Capital leading 10-3 in the shot category, 4 on target. Handball is called here on Leonetti. Couple words from head coach Katie Robinson to Spar as she heads upfield and will be one of the players to try to get on the end of this Sophia Grossman free kick. That goes out of play. Cut up well by Longano. Here's Berletic. A foul called, and Capital will have a free kick. With that, they'll send players forward. 4 or 5 up there looking to get on the end of this Abby English free kick. Headed well by Morgan Bush, and Wittenberg looks to come upfield. It'll be a Capital throw. Ten and a half here to play in the first half between Capital and Wittenberg. As I mentioned, last non-conference matchup for Capital before they have a string of 9 conference games finish the season, as it looks like there will be a substitute for Capital. Shuttler replaced by Vigiano, excuse me. Long thrown for Capital. Ball's down kindly. Looks to spin around a couple defenders. That'll go off a Capital player. Last for a goal kick. Foul committed in the midfield by Emily Weil. Other than the corner, about halfway through the first half, this might be the best set piece chance that Capital has. As the Wittenberg coaching staff is directing their players to play a high line here. Shot taken by Hart, but that's wide. Subs for Wittenberg. Looks like Kaiser and Pierce will come in for Hannah Heald and Alex Steele. Here in the final 8.5 minutes of the first half. Dispossessed, right-footed shot, but once more skips into the hands of Wisniewski. That shot coming from Hart once more. Cassidy Weber carries upfield, looks to find Lindsay. That's just going to roll out too far for a Capital throw. Done well by Berletic to keep it in. Gano up to Hart. Leonetti. Hart back to Leonetti. She can't bring it down with the head, and it's eventually cleared. Turned by Taylor Pierce, but she can't keep possession. Here's English. Longano. Substitution for Capital. Stanislavska will come in. She'll replace Avery Hart. So a good shift put in by Avery Hart, producing the majority of the clear-cut chances for Capital here in this first half. She'll get a breather heading into halftime. Leonetti back to English. Barlage. Ryan. Good 1-2 on that far side. Gets it up to Stanislavska. Back to Berletic. Wittenberg defender will look to usher that out, and she will do so successfully. So good defending there by Brooke Mullis on the far side. Just cutting out any potential attack from Capital and Berletic on that far side. There's Weber. Foul called against Longano. It'll be a free kick for Wittenberg. So as this first half comes to a close, as Longano looks to take on the defense. Get it up to Berlitic, but can't. Capital currently sit at 12 shots here in the first half, and as I mentioned, 12 shots per game so far this season. With 4 of their 7 matches, this Capital women's team ends up with single-digit shots. Fine on this near side. Leonetti just can't bring it down. She's dispossessed by Weil. Here comes Weil. And he's going to pull it back for a foul. It's a pullback by, I believe, Leonetti. Got the Wittenberg fans here shouting, and nothing came of that attack, so the referee pulling it back for a Tigers free kick. Here with just a couple ticks over 4 minutes in the first half. This is one that Maria Miller will stand over, a senior from New Albany. Right-footed cross is swung in. Flicked on, but eventually cleared by Capital, and they'll look to counter. Weber steps inside. She gets it up to Stanislavska, but she knows nothing about it. Probably thought Longano was going to go to the far side and create a run, but one back well by Gambasini. And then Grossman cuts out that attack, and it'll be a Capital throw. Deflection all the way back to Barlage, and then gets it to the far side. And Ryan. Berletic. Stanislavska cuts in on the right foot. Leonetti. Longano. Look to get it back for a run of Leonetti, but just cut out and cleared by Wittenberg. Leonetti looking for the run of Stanislavska, but cut out well by Weber. Berletic looks to track it down, but it'll find Morgan Bush. Here's Leonetti. Longano. Puts it down the line for Stanislavska, cut out well by Grossman. So both coaching staffs pushing on their players here in the last 2 minutes. The first half with most chances created by Capital, and they'll have another one here with a corner. So once more, Gambasini will come to this near side to take this corner. The Handful of Capital players in the box, and that one's just tipped away by Wisniewski. Don't think it was going in, but it was falling to the back post. And it had to be dealt with by Wisniewski, and she did well. And looks as though there might have been a foul called as well. Either way, another good chance for Capital. Great ball swung in by Gambasini. And a handful of Capital players at the back post looking to tap that one in. Leonetti dispossessed by Lindsay. Berletic looks to flick it on for Stanislavska. Just a heavy touch, and Mullis cuts it out. Good one-on-one defense by Holly Barlage. That one put into space. Cut out well by English. But the referee will bring it back for a foul. So under 30 seconds here in the first half, and this quite possibly the last chance for either side. Here's the first, comes to a close. Ball put in the middle. Left-footed shot, that's going to go wide. And that should do it here for the first half as the last 10 tick off the clock. So some good pressure from Capital to start this match. A couple of really good chances. They lead the shot category 12-3, with 5 of those shots from Capital being on goal. But nothing totally troubling Wittenberg goalkeeper Katie Wisniewski. After one, Capital 0, Wittenberg 0. Back here at Bernlohr Stadium for the second half of this women's soccer match between Capital and Wittenberg. 0-0 the score after 45 minutes. Some first half stats. Capital leading in the shot category, 12 shots with 5 being on target. The majority of those coming from forward number 15, Avery Hart, 6 shots with 3 on target. Her best chance hitting the crossbar after getting over the outstretched arm of Wittenberg goalkeeper Katie Wisniewski. Just 4 shots for Wittenberg thus far. 1 apiece from Heald, Mullis, Steele, and Lindsay. Mullis, a defender. So nothing really coming for Wittenberg here in the first half. We'll see what they can get going here in the second as they move left to right. Capital will move right to left. 5 players apiece logging 45 minutes. Ryan, English, Gambasini, Barlage, and Leonetti for Capital. Miller, Weil, Weber, Grossman, and Mullis. As Estes will be on this near side. Cuts it back for Hart. Hart on her right foot. Looks to get it over to Shuttler. But Wittenberg will gather and head upfield. Just some recaps in the first half. Capital, no shots on target face, so no worries thus far for goalkeeper Lauren White. They'll look to keep that trend going. Keep Wittenberg from creating any solid chances towards their net. Create some good chances, just going to take a touch of class to finish one away and take the lead here and break the deadlock. So we'll see if they can keep on going moving forward. For Wittenberg, as I mentioned, no shots on goal, decent ball retention, just no real clear-cut chances created. So we'll see if they can do that moving forward, as there's a shoulder-to-shoulder here on this near side corner. Looks like Ryan and Bidwell collided, but it'll roll over for a goal kick. So Estes, Vigiano, Rotolo, Hart, Woodruff, Shuttler, Barlage, Ryan, and English, and Gambasini will be in to start this second half. Only change from the starting 11, I believe, is Vigiano's in there for Leonetti at the moment. Number 24, the captain, in the center of the park. Taken back by Shuttler. Gets it up to Hart. Looked to lay it off for the runner. Shuttler just couldn't connect with it. There's Cassidy Ryan. Looked to dance around Bidwell, but good defending from Amy Bidwell, and she won a throw for her team. Steele puts the pressure on and forces Barlage to go all the way back to White. Good turn by Estes. She has a step on Miller. Cut inside, just dispossessed by Mullis. Rotolo looks to win it back, but does so illegally, according to the referee. Just stepped in front of Emily Weil. Ball upfield by Mullis. Down for Hart. She flicks it over the top for Rotolo. Grossman looks to clear. Not very convincing from the center back for Wittenberg. Here's Shuttler. Back to Gambasini. Rotolo to Shuttler. Up to Hart. She turns on her right foot, now back to the left. Feeds a good ball in for Estes, but that's just going to trickle a little bit too far. As Wisniewski was alert and handled that well as that just rolled inside her 18-yard box. But Capital come once more. Here's Hart. Cuts in on our left. Gets it in, and the defender will leave it for the goalkeeper. So good little 1-2s from Capital here on this near side. Good ball slid in by Hart to Estes, just out of the reach of Grace Estes. Vigiano. Estes. She has a step on Bidwell. She gets a left-footed cross in, falls to Hart, and she tucks it away. So well worked on this near side by Capital. Estes had the step on Bidwell. She squared it to about the penalty spot, maybe just inside the 18. And Avery Hart tucks it away for her second of the season, and Capital has a 1-0 lead. So well worked by Capital. You saw it coming in the first half, just created some good opportunities, couldn't finish them off, but that one was well worked. And a really tidy finish from Avery Hart. And Estes will come once more at Bidwell. She'll let that one roll out, and it'll be a goal kick. So much of the attack on the wings coming from Grace Estes. She initially started on the Capitals' left in the first half, and then a couple substitutions were made. Woodruff drifted out to the left, Estes on the right, so she can come from both sides. Creating chances on the left side here to start the second half, and it pays off for Capital. Wittenberg looks to bounce back, but well defended by English. Here's Cassie Ryan. Gets it up to Estes. Bidwell defending once more. Going to create something, Estes. Ryan gets it up, flicked on by Hart. And a half clearance falls to Estes. So some resilient defending from Wittenberg, get it clear, but a Capital throw will come. Second goal of the season for Capital, second goal for Avery Hart. Her other one coming against Grove City. Looks like that'll be a Wittenberg throw here on this near side corner. Two Capital defenders on Brooke Peters. They concede the foul. Well shielded by Wittenberg's Brooke Peters. So that'll relieve a little bit of pressure for that Wittenberg defense. Been under duress since this second half has gotten underway. In order to take, brought down well by Bidwell. Cassidy Ryan brings down Bidwell. And the referee's going to have a word with the Wittenberg coaching staff. And a yellow card's going to be brandished to a coach for Wittenberg. Looked as though Gambasini had a handle of Bidwell here on this near side, and then the Wittenberg midfielder got around Capital's Gambasini and potentially had her hands, or Ryan, excuse me, had her hands around Bidwell. Nonetheless, a free kick will come here for Wittenberg. It will be swung in by Miller. To be brought down by Bidwell, but nobody there, and Ryan will get it upfield. That pass to the 18-yard box will be gathered by White, and that will relieve some pressure. So it has been a physical match thus far as Bidwell gets around Ryan and feeds it well to Steele. She crosses it. Heel just can't get the connection on it she's looking for. So a couple Wittenberg players in the box, Bidwell and Heald. Bidwell starting the attack, got it over to Steele, and she put a good ball into the box. Hannah Heald just couldn't get any connection on it. Mentioned it's been a physical match, 10 fouls so far, 8 committed by Capital. As Bidwell keeps it in. Takes on Ryan once more, feeds it into Alex Steele on this near side. Right-footed cross in, dealt well by English, and she clears. Bidwell and Ryan here in this near corner. Bidwell might just be a little out of steam. Made a couple good runs, and Estes looks to turn, cut out by Weil. Wittenberg faithful here cheering on their team, looking to get back in this, down 1-0 thanks to an Avery Hart goal in the 50th minute, and that will roll out of play. A substitution for Capital will be made. Leonetti will come back in. And she will replace Gabby Vigiano. So she'll be put back in the middle of the midfield for Capital. A physical presence is Sophia Leonetti, starting her 8th match. A long 90 minutes against Case Western. Won by Rotolo. Shoulder to shoulder with Peters. Whistle to the mouth of the referee, but he looks to play on. Here's Estes. Left-footed cross finds Avery Hart once more. She turns on her right, lays it off for Leonetti, takes the shots, deflected, and it'll go over the crossbar. Nothing Wisniewski could do about that were it to tuck under, but it goes over for a Capital corner. So on cue, as I mentioned, Leonetti wins the ball in the midfield, gets it to Rotolo. And they play through Estes once more on this near side. So a couple of familiar names linking up for Capital as this corner will come in from the far side. Shuttler goes for the header, and that one's eventually cleared. Headed back, and here comes Hannah Heald on the counter. Looks to get it over to Steele, but that's just going to be too far and out of the reach of Alex Steele. Here's Woodruff. Leonetti. Last ditch attempt, gets it over to Estes. She looked to turn, and it'll be a Capital throw. Last off Maria Miller. Shot totals going up to 14 for Capital as that foul is committed, and Capital will have a good spot for a free kick. Mentioned 2 shots thus far in the second half for Capital. One of those on frame, and that being the decisive goal thus far with 32:15 left here in the second half. Capital lead 1-0 over Wittenberg through a Avery Hart goal, assisted by Grace Estes. English will take this. She swings it into the 6-yard box and gathered well by Wisniewski. All skipped over both players looking to get that one. Eventually cleared by English. Here's Woodruff. Time and space for Madeline Woodruff. Tolo to Leonetti. Here's Estes. Taking on Miller this time. Cuts in on the right foot. She'll take a shot. Deflected. Brought down well. Gets the shot off, but saved by Wisniewski. Rotolo the one to get that shot off. A defender there for Wittenberg, but I think a save by Wisniewski keeps it 1-0. Here's Shuttler. Battling with Peters. Leonetti. Back over to Estes. They come from this left side once more. And that one ushered out of play by Brooke Mullis. So really good chances for Capital, even after putting the goal in to put them up 1-0, as Wittenberg will make a substitution. Abby Spar comes into the game. She was a first half substitute as well. And she will replace Brooke Peters, who's had a hard time in the middle of the field, battling against Brooke Shuttler for Capital, who come once more. Here's Hart. To cut it on the right foot. Defended well initially. Leonetti wins it back. And then that's deflected. And it will be this side of the corner flag for a throw-in. Another substitution for Wittenberg. 13. Lindsay Magato will come in. I believe she replaced Amy Bidwill. She did. Number 5 will take a seat for Wittenberg. I'm sure look to come back in for Katie Robinson's side here. Ball upfield looking for steal, but Magato couldn't connect. Leonetti, foul committed there by Weil. Substitution in the wings for Capital. It looks like Longano will come back in. She made a substitution appearance in the first half. A long 13 minutes for Capital. Estes dances around a defender, puts a right-footed shot towards the net, but that'll roll aimlessly wide for a goal kick. Not the last action for her. Grace Estes put a shift in here in the beginning of this second half as she's replaced by Francesca Longano, freshman from Mayfield, Ohio. Good ball in by Rotolo. Woodruff on the end of it. She gets her cross in, but cut out by Grossman. Tolo wins the header once more. Here's Woodruff. Heel defending for Wittenberg, and she wins her team a throw. Shuttler wins it back for Capital, and then a foul committed. And they'll have a free kick, Capital, in a good spot. And substitute Abby Spar committing the foul there for Wittenberg. Capital send about 6 or 7 players forward to get on the end of this Abby English delivery. One that she swings in from the right side. Across the box, and it's deflected over. As Wisniewski was backtracking, just kind of put her hand up. Try to get anything on that, potentially a bit hopelessly, but sees it over the bar for a goal kick. Really good ball put in by Abby English there. Spar over to Heald. She looks to get it to Steele. But it's seen out by Abby English. Katie Robinson, the 11th. Tigers women's head coach for Wittenberg. Barking out instructions for her team here. With just under 25 and a half to go here in the second half, down 1-0. Spar all the way back to Mullis. Miller gets it upfield. She's looking for 13 Magato. That'll roll out. Also, Barlage taken away by Alex Steele, but too heavy of a touch. And good sweeping up as well from English. Substitutions for both teams. Capital's Aaliyah Berlitic will come in. Berletic, excuse me. And 27, Morgan Bush will come in for Wittenberg. Replacing Woodruff. And 18, Sydney Artis. No nonsense clearance from English. Couple instructions up to 21. Excuse me, back to 21. Brooke Mullis from the assistant coaches of Wittenberg. Just passing a word along to the center backs for the Tigers, trying to stay organized back there. Leonetti. Up to Longano. Turns inside, looks to get around the second defender. That ball is up to Avery Hart. She gets it over to Francesca Longano. She's going to take a shot with her right foot. It's seen all the way by Wisniewski. So time and space for Francesca Longano. She put a good shot towards the net, but behind it is Katie Wisniewski. And he does well to keep possession, gets it over to Shuttler. Her pass gets away from her, but won back by Capital. Here's English. Up to Hart. Here's Hannah Heald. Had the best chance of the second half for Wittenberg. Cross went in off the right foot of Alex Steele, and Hannah Heel just couldn't get anything directed towards goal to trouble Lauren White. 4 shots still for Wittenberg, none of which have been on frame. Good move around Miller from Longano. She looks to switch the play and play it into Berletic, but cut out, and Wittenberg will come once more. That ball just skips away from Magato. And Wittenberg has 2 substitutions waiting once more. A lot of rotation from Coach Robinson here in the second half as they look to get back into this one. So 14 Paige Kaiser and 28 Taylor Pierce will come in, placing Alex Steele and Hannah Heald. Steele and Heald producing the bulk of the offense for the Tigers this season. We'll see if they get a 5 or so minute rest and then head back out there for a strong 15 to wrap up this second half for Wittenberg. Here's Pierce. Cross swung in. That'll fall kindly for Lauren White. That might be considered the first shot on target tonight for Wittenberg, but nothing too dangerous to test White. Here's Shuttler. Just swinging in. Hart loses her footing. A roll to Wisniewski. Nettie and Bush challenge for it. All played over the top for Morgan Bush. That's going to be won by Barlage. Gets it up to Leonetti. We tick under 20 minutes here in the second half. 1-0 to Capital. On a goal scored by Avery Hart, her second of the season. Few other good chances for Capital. Hart's on, looks to get on the ball once more, dispossessed by Mullis. But here she is, Avery Hart. Played into space, but that's just going to run too far for the run of Longano. Word with the referee and assistant coach Jenna Klopfenstein. And now Matt Ogden, stands up as well. Has a few words with the referee, but we'll play on here. The free kick gets it started by Miller. Cross swung in, handled by White as she keeps it in play. That was Lindsay Magato that swung that cross in, number 13 for Wittenberg. There's Hart. Can't dance around a couple defenders. Gets it up to Weil. Magato back to Miller. Tried to be won by Rotolo and Hart, but a Wittenberg throw. Looked to be deflected off a Wittenberg player last, and it will be a goal kick. Arlaj did just enough. Looked like she might have been dispossessed for a second. But she tracked back well and saw it out of play off the Wittenberg player. Coach Robinson for Wittenberg putting on a few words about some zonal pressing, just looking to win the ball back earlier and get upfield, trying to produce something here. With just a little over 16 minutes to go here in the second half. Shot total is now 17-6 in favor of Capital, with 8 of the 17 being on goal. The all-important coming from Avery Hart in the 50th minute. Looking for the combination between Wittenberg. And that will be a goal kick. There's a deflection off a Capital player, but I think the cross put in by a Wittenberg player had just gone over the end line before she got her foot through it. The assistant referee on the near side signaled for a Capital goal kick. Good goalkeeping by Lauren White. Saw that her defender was beaten there by Paige Kaiser, 14 for Wittenberg, but she cleaned up well, did White. Bit of a stalemate feel here in this part of the second half. Capital with an onslaught of chances to start the second half. Eventually got their goal, created a couple more chances, but then it's been all Wittenberg with the chances since then. As they look to press upfield and win the ball back and try to knot this up at 1. Here's Leonetti. It's it over Longano, cuts into the right side. That touch just a bit too heavy. For a second, I thought they were going to let it roll through to Wisniewski, but it's cleared away by Grossman. And upfield once more by English. All played through. Gambasini will go back to White. She'll have plenty of time on the ball to get it to English. All one back by Wittenberg, but Leonetti cleans up. Cleans up once more. Weird deflection. Fell back to the front side of the 18-yard box for Wittenberg, but since coming in as a substitute this second half, Sophia Leonetti has been a solid defensive presence in the middle of the park for Capital. Shoulder to shoulder with Pierce and Gambasini on that far side, and those starters will come back in once more. Heald, Steele, Peters, and Bidwell will come in with 13:30 left here in the second half for one final push. Back to Peters. Cleared out by Leonetti, then upfield by Shuttler. Awkward for Wittenberg. Falls to Hart. Wisniewski in no man's land, and looked like that might have hit the midsection of the Wittenberg goalie. A miscommunication between the back line of Wittenberg and their goalkeeper. As they just get away with that one, do the Tigers. Good 1-2, gets it to Miller. Miller upfield looking for Steele. Chested down, but Battle with Peters and Leonetti. Or English, excuse me, and she'll be called for the foul here. So a free kick for Wittenberg, one that Maria Miller will step up to, and she'll direct her players as to where she wants to be. A couple words of encouragement from head coach Robinson. And then Miller will let it go. It looks like Brooke Mullis will take this free kick. Four players queuing up at the back post. That one swung into the box, cleared away with the left foot, then falls and tipped onto the crossbar by White. I think the Capital goalkeeper got just enough of a hand to that, as that shot looked like it was dipping under the crossbar. Heald will come once more for Wittenberg. Gets it up to Bidwell. Bidwell looks to cross it in, but just skews her cross, and that'll go wide of the near post. And a sigh of relief from Capital. Hannah Heald had the ball fall to her, and she chipped it. And the retreating Lauren White just got enough of a fingertip to it to direct it onto the crossbar. And it keeps this game at 1-0 for Capital. Weil goes up for the header. Just falls down, but here's Leonetti. Over to Shuttler. White gets it over to Gambasini. She falls down. Steele benefits from it. The cross put in, deflected and cut out well by English. She's been solid at the back for Capital. Here comes Berletic. Berletic looks to get it up to Hart, relieve some pressure. But Wittenberg will come away with it. Here's Weil. She's dispossessed. It's cut out and comes up to Longano. She'll dance inside to plenty of space. Puts a ball through for Avery Hart. But that one will just roll too far, and Wisniewski will gather. So a bit of a good link-up play counterattack from Capital with under 10 minutes here in the second half. And assistant coach Klopfenstein has a couple substitutes waiting. Some fresh legs with 9:30 here to lock this one up. That one chipped into space. Longano looks to get on the end of it, but just too far. So it's the right idea from Avery Hart, playing it into space for Francesca Longano. She's been lively since coming in as a substitute this second half. That ball rolled out on the far side for a Wittenberg throw. To Avery Hart. Leonetti. Oh, 1-2 with Rotolo. Leonetti just can't get on the end of that one, and Maria Miller will step into it. Left-footed shot, but that one's going to be wide for a Capital goal kick. So Estes, Stanislavska, Woodruff, and Moore will give a break to Longano, Rotolo, Hart, and Ryan. Some fresh legs for Capital. We'll see if they can see this one out. We take under 8 minutes here in the second half. Cross put in by Heald, and it'll be a throw just this side of the corner flag for Wittenberg. One that Hannah Hurd will leave for Maria Miller to trot onto. Short to Heald. Back to Miller. Left-footed cross goes up. Right-footed swing at it, and it's eventually cleared away. Right to the feet of Stanislavska, but she's dispossessed. Here's Weil. Ball played into space. Heald just doesn't have enough to get after that one. It'll roll out. Another substitute for Capital. 17, Faith Durbin will come in. And she'll give a breather to Sophia Leonetti, who's put a real shift in here in the second half. In the center of the midfield. Tracked down just about every loose ball for Capital, and when they've lost it, she's won it back, Leonetti. Clearance skewed, but it'll fall to Heald. Up for Miller. Here's Moore. That shot, or cross, excuse me, will roll out for a goal kick. So orders being barked from both benches for both Capital and Wittenberg. The directions as to what to do for this final 6. Heald over the top, headed away by English. Battle on that far side. Gambasini will see it through. So a couple half chances here in the past couple minutes for Wittenberg, but nothing really testing Lauren White. Aside from that shot off a corner that she just tipped on the crossbar, it was really great goalkeeping by Lauren White. Substitution for Wittenberg, it's going to be Emma Lindsay, and she will replace Maria Miller. Good 50-50 there from English. She's had a great game tonight at right back. Stanislavska puts the pressure on. Estes looks to carry away, but she's dispossessed by Lindsay. And then the pass goes right to Shuttler. Berletic lays it off to Durbin. Durbin puts it into space to Stanislavska. She inches it on. Cross put it in the box, deflected, and it's going to fall to Wisniewski. Here's Shuttler. She'll turn back and find Gambasini. Gambasini looks to get it up. And a foul is committed by Wittenberg, so Capital in no rush to take this. They'll send a couple players forward. And Abby English will be the one to take it once more. Right-footed cross put in, headed away, and it'll fall to Hannah Heald. She's shoulder to shoulder with Estes, and Estes does well. Good defending from 29 in white. Lindsay over this near side for Heald. She will just keep it in. Looks to find Bidwell in the middle, but it goes right to Shuttler. She'll find Estes. Estes just running out of gas here on this near side. And Wittenberg will come once more. Hannah Heald, just an extra, a bit much on that touch, and it's cleared by Barlage. Gambasini. Stanislavska looks to get it up to Berletic. That one will roll through. Onrushing Bidwill will get to it first, but it's eventually cleared out. Final 2 minutes here in the second half. Capital 1-0 lead over Wittenberg on an Avery Hart goal. They are looking to possess the ball, see this 2 minutes out, and don't give away a free kick. A free kick that Brooke Mullis will take from near midfield. Seven Wittenberg players stacked at the top of the 18-yard box. That ball swung in, flicked on, and then headed into the middle, but eventually cleared by English. Headed on, here's Weber. And eventually cleared by Gambasini. Anywhere will do for Capitals. We're under 1 minute here in the final half of play. Stanislavska up to Berletic. Woodruff. Dispossessed at first, but she wins it back. Here's Estes. Wittenberg throw on this near side, but it looks like they're going to run out of time as we tick down under 10 seconds. So at the top, we mentioned a resilient defensive performance this season from Capital. Just couldn't get in the win column. They find their first win tonight to the Capital women. They take down the Wittenberg Tigers 1-0 tonight from Bernlohr Stadium on an Avery Hart goal in the 50th minute. Her second of the season, and that's a great way to head into conference play for the Capital women's soccer team. Baldwin Wallace, Heidelberg, at John Carroll, and at Marietta is how they will start their OAC schedule. And it's a good way to do it with the last non-conference matchup of the season as they take down Wittenberg 1-0. My name is Davis McCartney. Thank you for joining me tonight from Bernlohr Stadium. Final once more, Capital 1,